Hi guys, Megan Center here with Champion Real Estate, and I'm super excited. Today joining me, I have Dan Skidmore with
Hi.
Movement Mortgage. And together, Dan and I are going to be answering some of those most common questions we get from first-time home buyers. And to start that off, the first question that I always hear, you probably hear, is where do we start? So for those of you that are first-time buyers and you're not sure where do I even begin the process, the first thing that I think is super important is finding an agent that you connect with and someone that you trust, and also finding a lender that you can work with as well. And you want your agent and your lender to be able to work together, which Dan and I have done many times. And that's kind of what we call creating the team. And it's super important to have a team and to build a team that is goal-oriented around the goals that you are yourself trying to accomplish. Once you kind of get that team together, the next thing would be getting your finances in order. And that's really where Dan comes into play.
Yeah, so first thing we do with all my clients, I want to make sure we set goals because that's going to be really kind of paramount. In my business, there's a lot of jargon, down payment, PITI, things like that. But a lot of my clients simply say, Dan, so the first goal I want you to focus on if you're new to this is what are you comfortably, a monthly payment that's comfortable for you.
Yeah.
So every month, check you right, what's comfortable for you and your budget. Okay.
So not necessarily I'm approved for 500,000 and I have to use that.
Right.
Really, yes, you're approved for 500,000, but maybe you're only comfortable with a payment that justifies a $400,000 mortgage.
Right, and this is really when the goal settings come in, because if I can tell Megan, hey, you're approved 500,000, but does not fit within your goals, we don't want you in a bad financial situation after we're all said and done. Make sure it works for you. Now, so number one, payment per month, what's comfortable for you. Now, second is how much money is budgeted for this purchase.
Yes.
This is again, it's back to like, say you have $1 million in the bank, but you only want to use X amount of dollars for this. So we'll make sure we keep within our clients' goals. This can be essential for some home buyers, especially because the cash to close. The reason I say that is you'll hear things like down payment, closing costs, and prepaid items. Well, people think, for example, let's say the sale price is $100,000.
Right.
Okay, the loan amount is $97,000. Our down payment is $3,000. But there's closing costs on top of that. So if someone says, "Oh, I have $3,000 for my down payment," well, plus your closing costs. Now we're closer to maybe $7,000, not $3,000. So it's essential for us to sort of communicate that. Again, back to that team effort. We need to communicate with each other, make sure we're hitting your goals. So basically, just think of it simply: how much money is budgeted for this purchase total? Okay, and the last goal is really a question of some advice we can give you, which is how long are you going to be in this property for? Most people say forever, but as we know in real estate, life happens, and people don't generally stay in the property as long as they think they will. But if you do know, great. Just kind of gives us some basis for some advice. If not, that's all right too. So when in doubt, so there's three goals: payments, how much money you have budgeted for the purchase, how long you have to be in the property for.
So once a buyer kind of establishes that with you, what is kind of the next thing that they need to know? What's going to happen from that point on?
From that point on, we're just going to sort of reverse engineer everything, get like a sales price, loan amounts, get an idea of what we're looking at range-wise. If everything looks good on that end, then we sort of get more formal spots. When we get the application going, we pull credits, get all the documentation required for what I call the lender review.
Perfect. And then once they go through the review process, explain to them a little bit about how it works. Are they automatically approved? What are some things that they kind of need to be aware of?
Certainly, good question. This is where the technicality part of my industry can be a bit confusing. So a lender review is basically me getting your documentation. We're looking over what you have your goals set for. And this is basically going to be a general feel for what you're going to be at. All right. So we're not qualified yet. We're just kind of looking over things, make sure it looks good to you. Now, if it does look good, then we go to the next step, get our really kind of narrow down our program and what we're looking at. Then we can get all your documentation together and we submit to underwriter. The underwriter is the person who actually approves your loan. Okay.
Right.
This is sort of a difference we'll see in the industry between a pre-qual and a pre-approval. So a pre-qual is basically me giving you a thumbs up. Hey, you're good to go. You're wonderful. Now, pre-approval is when an underwriter approves a loan. Now, if you're not sure if you have done it before, you can always ask the lender, hey, my underwriter approved? And that's the way you can kind of get off the bat, this way you're solid. Now, the underwriter approval makes a difference when Megan, for example, is making an offer for you. If you're a seller and you have two options and they're both about the same, One is fully approved, the other one is not. The full approval one has a bit more weight to it, so it gives you a better buying position as well.
Definitely, very true, very true. So, and Dan, the last question I have for the buyers out there who are first-time buyers and have these questions, what does it cost someone to come in and talk to you and kind of go through this process to meet with you and kind of figure out where they're at?
Best thing is free. Doesn't cost you a
You
dime.
heard it here, guys. It's free. It doesn't
Free,
cost you
free.
anything.
No charges up front. Best to know your options than not. So even if you're even thinking about it, best to know where it is. Okay?
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Dan, for coming and visiting with us. And guys, if you have any questions about the home buying process, the lending process, please feel free to give myself a call or Dan a call. We will include our contact information in the comments below. Thanks so much. Have a great day, guys.
Have a great day.